Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back for another video. I am Starco, and in this video, we're actually going to go with uh, all character review slash guide, Iron Fist Tier 2. It's being requested by my subscribers. So today, I'm going into that. We're going to go through everything that goes with Iron Fist. First, we're actually going to start with some gameplay. We will be doing a run of story mode. We're going to be doing a run of wall bus and probably a run of wall bus invasion. So, guys, um, let's skip to the gameplay, and when we come back from the gameplay, we are going to look at the gear, the stats, the skills, the easel set, the uniform, and we'll take a quick peek at my cards too to see where I come from with the stats I have, guys. So, let's start with story mode. So guys, for the story mission, we are going to actually go with Chapter 11, Mission 3. We'll build Iron Fist can probably do Chapter 11, the whole thing. Mine is not built perfectly yet, so I'm going with something that's pretty weak, pretty easy to beat. So, most important, guys, is you need to keep the dodge buff up at all time, which is the skill number 3. Your skill number 4 is actually your biggest damage output. Use it every time it's available, even if it cancels any other skill. It's your biggest damage. After that, you have a good CC control with the skill number 5. It will actually stun every target that are getting hit by it, so it can be really good. The stun is actually, I think it's like 3 seconds or something like that, so it's pretty decent. And like you can see, Iron Fist has a really high dodge at tier 2. It gets 35% guaranteed dodge with the tier 2 buff, so he doesn't get it a lot unless you are your dodge is really low. That's why you want to prioritize a dodge Obelisk on him. You'll see my Obelisk later. So if your dodge is decent, it will be pretty easy to go through most content unless the enemy you're facing has a good in your dodge. That's the only way that you can be defeated easily. So that was for us. Okay guys, next we will be doing a Black Dwarf wall bus. This is actually a perfect target for Iron Fist with the eye dodge and the eye energy tech output. It is actually perfect. So again, let's switch to him because I wasn't leader with him. You just keep your dodge buff up and use your fourth skill every time it's available, and that's pretty much all you need to be able to destroy a Black Dwarf. When he has his immunity to physical damage, your fourth skill should be taking the whole shield down in a second too. So I understand that some people don't have him built properly yet, so don't expect to be doing that kind of damage when you first get him there, but you can see his potential. Even mine is about, I will say mine is about 75% built, so I still have a lot of room to improvement. And see guys, that was a total joke for Black Dwarf. So if you're looking for good characters to be able to progress through Black Dwarf or any other wall boss, maybe except Thanos Infinity yet, I'll say Tier 2 Iron Fist is a really good guy. Also, and now with the new system of Alliance Battle, he's actually a really good character to be able to do the normal mode. And for the Alliance Battle Extreme combat hero, if you have snare resist gear on him, he can do about 75k score. So he's not as good as Moon Knight for Alliance Battle Extreme, but he is really good still. Going to be doing wall bus invasion. I actually put Star-Lord as leadership this time just to give ourselves more damage, and we will see how well we can do in here. again. Skill number 3 priority, then for your big damage, skill number 4. And pray for people here to actually use their damn purple button. But that shouldn't be a problem anyway, because the beast cannot damage you too much. Unless you get it really bad with the big blast, and that's pretty much it. The beast is just trying to beat me up, and I pretty much dodge most of the stuff, which is why it's really great to have a dodge gear on Iron Fist here too. If I remember right, I'm not sure guys on this information, it's currently 100% correct, but on what I was reading before, if you have 75% base dodge on Iron Fist, then you have the 35% extra guaranteed dodge from his uniform. It doesn't give you actually 100 something percent, sorry my math are off today, dodge. It's actually going to give you about 85% dodge. So it's still great. You know, 85% is still 85%. You're still going to be dodging most of the stuff. But don't expect to have the same amount of dodge that Ant-Man has, because it's not going to happen. The theoretical cap, like I said, if my sources are good, or is 85% if you have 75% dodge on your gear, plus the 35% from guaranteed dodge. So guys, that was for the gameplay, and next we will be moving to Iron Fist build. So guys, we're actually going to be starting with his gear. So first gear, what do you want to do? In the first slot, you want to put energy level and energy attack by level at least 50%. The rest you want to go all attack or energy attack. Iron Fist is an energy based hero, so you always want energy attack and in your physical attack. Second gear, you want to go physical defense by level or at least 50%. In the first slot, I'm 49.8%, so you know. Let's just settle with it. Rest, you want to go all defense. The third gear, you want to go HP by level. I actually recommend going with 190% in the 2 first slot. Here I'm not fully updated. Well, I just didn't take the time for it since I don't play this character much. And then in the rest, you want to put dodge unless you over the cap, which is 75%. And the fourth gear, you want to put defense penetration all the way. That's what's going to increase your damage the most. For the Odin Blessing, what is the most important here? You want to set your stat priority that's going to work. So, the first priority is to get your defense penetration up to 50%. That's priority number 1. Priority number 2, you want to get your skill cooldown to whatever level it needs that your dodge buff is always up. So me, I think I'm running at like 28% or 29%, and I'm fine. My dodge buff is always up, so I ignore the skill cooldown at this point. But if you're not up there, you need to put skill cooldown because you need that buff to be active 100% of the time. So priority number 1, defense penetration. Priority number 2, skill cooldown. Priority number 3, you want to go with dodge to up to 75%. And priority number 4, you want to go energy attack. So those are your 4 priority for Odin Blessing. In each gear, you can only have 2 of the same hero equip. So either the max is like a 2 defense penetration hero in each gear. So basically, if you do 4 gear, you can have 8 energy attack, for example, on your total Odin Blessing. So I will have more information about Odin Blessing in a few days when I will be doing my full guide. But now I'm just giving you key points, guys, to help you to set up your Odin Blessing if you're up there. And next, guys, going to look at this Obelisk. Here I got a Dodge, 24.7% Obelisk, if I'm right, and the today Obelisk is the cap of Dodge you can have. The optimal, I actually recommend getting a double Dodge Obelisk with offensive press. That will be the optimal. With double Dodge Obelisk, your Iron Fist become untouchable, and the damage plus actually increase your damage a lot. So that's my recommendation for the Obelisk. And next, we're going to take a look at the easel set. My easel set is not perfect, but you want to go with Power of the Angry Oak or Overdrive to give you as much firepower as you can. If you actually fully awaken the easel set, your activation rate at the end of the set is going to be all attack plus 40% for 20 seconds, which is a really good boost. So I recommend Overdrive or Power of the Angry Oak for the simple reason that they are offensive set with defense penetration on them, which is the most important offensive stat. So that's for the usual set. Now let's take a quick look at his skills. First, we are going to look at his tier 2 passive. Like you can see, apply to self guaranteed dodge, plus 35% increase, and a 35% increase to all critical rate. So that is pretty good. Next, if we look at his tier 1 passive here, activation rate 10% rate when attacking, applied to self, critical rate plus 3 seconds. It lasts 5 seconds, the cooldown is 1 second, so if you're lucky, it's still up the whole fight, but let's say that it'll just stay up about 50% of the fight. If we look at his leadership, all team member in the team, it doesn't matter if he's actually out or if the team up is actually active, it works. Activation rate 25% rate when attacking, increase your attack speed by 12% for 30 seconds, and the cooldown is 40 seconds. So that's for the passive. Now let's take a quick look at the 3 skills you want to pay attention to when you're actually fighting. The first skill is the third skill here. Applied to enemy all defense minus 15%, and applied to self dodge plus 16%. Guys, keep in mind, when I'm talking about the cap at 75%, you have to include the 16% from this buff. So if you're calculating it right, 75% minus 16%, your idle cap is actually 59% on the stat sheet of Iron Fist. So you get 16% plus the 35% guaranteed dodge, which will give you a theoretical 85% dodge. So that's the skill you want to keep up at all time. It lasts 20 seconds for the dodge, so if you have about 40% of skill cooldown reduction, so around 26% from in your stat sheets, and the 14% from Alliance level 30 bonus, you get your 40%, which is optimal for him. You don't need to have him at 50%, this guy, because all you care about is to be able to keep that buff up. Now for the skill number 4 that I said is the best attacking skill. There you go. Energy attack 323%. Energy damage. Had energy damage 1094. That is best attack. And the cheese strike that will apply to enemy stun for 3 seconds and do some extra damage. So those are your 3 important skills. If your dodge is quite low, this skills is actually pretty good, but if your dodge is high, this skill won't do shit. Its second skill is inflict energy damage with 95% of energy attack, and inflict additional damage with 150% or receive damage while casting. Well, if you dodge, you don't receive the damage, so it's total crap for a good dodge build. And it's accumulate of 25% of max XP as a damage. That's the cap of the extra damage you're going to do. So guys, that's the skills. I'm ignoring the first skill. Well, the first skill, let's not ignore it and just talk about it. If you're fighting something like Proxima, I like to go back and back and back. This skill is a perfect skill. You use that, then you use your fourth skill, and that will increase your damage because your fourth skill will be right in the face of the target. But that's pretty much the only use for the Chi of Flying Crane. So next, let's move to his uniform. You have two uniforms that are actually viable. These two, they're the same. They give you the same stats, the same change on stuff. So, like you see, it's identical. The only difference is the color is your preference. So let's just talk about the one I have on me. Like any other uniform, you get 10% increase to physical attack, energy attack, physical defense, and energy defense. That's the base of every single uniform. Other than that, uniform bonus, when your HP is below 30%, you actually recover 10% of your HP. Plus, you get invincible for 5 seconds. The cooldown is 30 seconds. The HP recovery is actually affected with your recovery rate on your character. So if you have a recovery rate build, this is pretty good too. It will increase that. Like if you have the cap of recovery rate, which is 250%, you will get a max HP recovery of 25%. Not required if you have, again, a high dodge. So that's what we can say about his uniform. Next, guys, let's take a quick look at his stat sheet. Here, you see, energy tax is about 12k. If you had the 45% increase energy attack leadership, it will go up a lot. Attack speed, 127%, really close to 130% cap, which is pretty decent. In your defense, which is a defense penetration, we are running at 32%, which is pretty good. But instead of going all defense penetration of 4 gear, guys, like I said earlier, you could always go with critical damage since you get a big critical rate bonus. That will be viable too. Other than that, 130% recovery rate, I'm a 50% dodge. Like I said earlier, 59% is actually the cap, so I'm still working on getting there. Eventually, I'll get there. And like I was talking about, my reduced cooldown duration is 28.8%. And like I said, if you go around 26, you're all good. So you don't need a huge reduced cooldown duration on Iron Fist. And next, guys, I'm going to show you my cards quick. Just going to show you my effects here. I have all attack 27.5%, energy attack 9%, defense penetration 12.6%, and cooldown time 28.8%. Like you can see, Iron Fist actually doesn't get any cooldown from his gear. So all the cooldown you have on him, the base cooldown you have on him, all come from your card. So you need at least 26% on your card, basically. So guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this character guide / review. I did my best. If you have any feedback, comment, anything, please drop a comment in the box below. Other than that, if you did enjoy this review, guys, please give me a like, give me a sub, and come back for more videos. So guys, on that, I love you all, and I hope to see you in the next video.